Now it's time, though, for Climate Control, where I unpick some of the latest stories relating to the debate around climate change. Storm Babet continues to batter the UK, with downpours having catastrophic effects in certain regions. 3 people have died and over 40,000 homes, have been left without power, as the Met Office warns of danger to life in some parts of the country. But is Storm Babet a symptom of climate change, or is it just simply weather? Well, I'm joined now by senior meteorologist at the British Weather Service's Jim Dale, also political commentator Lewis Perry. Right, I'm going to start with you, Jim. I don't know why you're not you're next. You should be either side of me because you don't agree with each other.
I am where I am, but I'm back again. I'm back again, so that's fine.
Well, go on then. Well, talk to me about Storm Babet then. What, is it a he or a she, and why is it here?
It's a she, named by the Dutch, but it's here because it travelled from the Canaries a couple of weeks ago, where they were having intense heat, record temperatures, both on land and around in the sea, and it gathered all that massive energy, and that energy started to move to the west of Spain, then the west of France, and it arrived here. It hit or was blocked by the high pressure over Scandinavia. This is the technical bit, if you like. And it's dumped nominal amounts of rain across many parts of the UK. You're seeing the pictures now. You use the word catastrophic. I'm going to say there is a climate change element to Storm Babet.
So you think there's a climate change element to it. Lois, what is your view on that?
Well, it's nice that Jim is saying element and that it's not all caused by us, because in the past, when you come on the show, Jim, you said that it's all human-made climate change.
I never say that.
I just wanted to... Well, you have. Or
you have, Jim. I'm sorry.
I haven't.
It's like, OK.
I know what I say.
No, I know what you say as well. Hold on. You have said it. You've blamed most of climate change. OK, well, I'll give you a chance to defend that.
Go on. Lois, say what she's
Lois, finish off what you're saying, and then we'll come back to
OK, so I just want to make the point that, Jim talks a lot about the IPCC reports and documents, The actual documents, the actual report, not the summary or the press release, which is done not by scientists but by politicians and PR people with an agenda, has said definitively until extremely recently. I think the last report, the ones before that, said there was no evidence whatsoever of an increase in extreme weather events. And the most recent one said there may be a slight increase, but it was based on modelling, not actually looking at evidence. Because, of course, Jim, because you're a very technical guy, that things are done over a 30-year average, not because there's a storm or it's a bit hot somewhere else in the world. It has to be worked out and done over 30 years. And there is no increase in extreme weather events. And that's according to the IPCC, and NASA supplies their data.
Yeah. So, Jim, what do you say to that?
Yeah, I'd just like to say, how bad does it have to get before Lois and maybe yourself actually says there is a climate change element within this? I mean, we've got to look globally, not just of what... This is our turn, if you like. The floods are our turn. You go and ask the people in those flooded areas of the UK, of which there are many, and it's building up, it's becoming a major story, 3 deaths. You ask them whether there's any climate change involved in this. Don't ask NASA, who are massively onside as far as what I'm concerned. And the evidence is incontrovertible. It's as simple as that. The last 10 years particularly, all the graphs, all the temperature graphs, all the wildfire occasions, not all of them, but many of them, are unprecedented in what's going on. You had the floods in there as well. You've seen the pictures from Maui, from Derna in Libya. All of these things, just stack them together, join the dots, Lois. And, do you know what? We have this conversation every week.
Sorry, can you let Jim finish?
Yeah,
let Jim finish.
Isn't it? That's kind of immaterial. What we've got to get to an answer to is how we deal with this, irrespective of whether you believe it's man-made climate change or just natural
I'm sorry, I've got to pull you up on this, because you're moving away now from the notion that... I haven't finished talking, so you don't know what I'm going to say. But it does feel like you're moving away from the notion where climate change is man-made, and it sounds like you're accepting the narrative now that it isn't actually. Lois, respond, please.
I just wanted to ask Jim, why did the monks in medieval England build floodplains?
Why did the monks go, sorry, where?
Well, in medieval England, before fossil fuels were being used, why were floodplains built in medieval England?
If there was no where you're getting this one
just
from.
Answer the question.
I don't know where that one's come from.
Don't worry about that.
It's actually massively news to me that monks have suddenly arrived and done their bits 10,000 years ago, whenever it was. I don't know. I'm clueless as far as that one's concerned.
No, hang on. What, could you ask the question again? And Jim, do you know the answer or not? What is the question?
Ask the question again.
Okay. The point I'm trying to make is floodplains have always been created in the United Kingdom for thousands of years. Why would that be? Why do you think that's the case? You know, if it's all because of climate change that's man-made from fossil fuels, why was there the need to protect from floods 1,000 years ago?
Look, as well as the climate moving, the weather moves with it as well. That's part of the equation. You've got to differentiate between the two. And what you're not doing is exactly that. You've got to be able to do that. So, yes, of course, there are catastrophic weather events, pure weather events that do occur from time to time. There are catastrophic climate-induced events that are also weather events, the add-on, if you like, that occur. And that's what's happening. That's what's being mapped on now.
What's happening? An add-on climate event or...
Yeah, the add-on. This Babet has got part of that inherent in the energy that was put in as it started to develop in and around the Canaries. I'm trying to explain it in a very simplified way, that energy goes into the atmosphere and then the atmosphere can hold more water. And once it hits a barrier, such as the high pressure over Scandinavia, all that water falls out. And hey, presto, you get the type of events that you're seeing now in the news, people being flooded out, deaths occurring, businesses ruined, all of that. You've got to start joining these dots, and we've got to start looking at the remedies for this and what we can do to best survive.
OK, so are you saying that the CO2 in the atmosphere was part of what caused this chain of events? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, I am. Overall, yes, I am. It's part of the equation,
and when you say,
entire
when you say part of the equation, what percentage would you attribute to it?
You can't...
no, I'm asking you, because you're saying part of it.
I'll give you the answer, and the answer is you can't say... You know, that's 10% or 12%. It's a portion of. That will vary depending
is it a
on
larger
the
portion
event.
than half in your head or a lesser portion than half in your head?
To be honest with you, that's a sort of silly question.
Don't tell me my question. Listen, there's no silly questions. When people are asking you've made a statement. I'm asking you. You said a portion of it is climate change. So I'm saying, in your mind, how big is that portion?
I would say it's significant enough to cause what you're seeing now. That's where it is.
Can you give it like so? I could say.
I think scientists cannot do that. They're not going to say this storm gave that and that's. You sometimes have to wait.
No, because you keep saying if it's a teeny portion in your mind,
it's enough.
Then that sounds like not very much.
Do you know what happens?
Are you saying a big bit or a small bit?
OK, so this is what happens when you fill your bath. Up to the point of it overflowing, it's OK. And then you get that teeny little bit that goes over the top, and it's not OK. That's exactly what happens with climate change. That's what we're seeing in all instances in terms of globally what's going on.
I've had enough of this.
Your technical ability to explain stuff, Jim, is overwhelming me about bards and overflowing and stuff. So the IPCC, they're wrong, are they? The IPCC are wrong when they say that there is no evidence of any more extreme weather.
I don't even know where you get that information.
Close to finish.
Yeah, where's
Carry on, Lewis,
from?
sorry.
The reports, the actual reports, not the summaries, not the press releases. This isn't. I'll send it to you, Jim. Say that there's no. Or very, very slight increase, very slight in extreme weather events. And if we're richer as a nation, because we haven't bankrupted ourselves with net zero, we can protect ourselves to protect ourselves from floods, things like that.
You're interested in protecting the cars and the vehicles. That's what you're interested in, the fossil fuel industry. That's where you are. You need to come back on side. We need a proper conversation about where we go with this next. Look at what's happening in the UK.
Well, I think
look at what's happening around the world.
Isn't that what she's saying, though? Isn't that what she's saying?
The IPCC are somehow coming up with contrary information to what they actually are coming out with.
Well, let her tell you what she's saying. Sorry, tell us again what you're saying, Lois.
Sorry, the summaries that are written from the reports and then the press releases quite often bear very little resemblance or no resemblance to what's actually written in the report.
Do you know who writes the
Sorry, let her
finish.
Let her finish.
Because there's a political agenda for the people that are doing the press releases and the politicians, and that has nothing to do with being green, and it's all about an anti-capitalist agenda. That's all it's about. Either you don't realise you're complicit.
This is 164 countries that put the name to this. This is the most countries of the world. These are eminent scientists that actually put these things out. They're not a couple of people sat in the back of a wardrobe pressing buttons like they do on Twitter or anywhere else.
The science is saying what I'm saying. I'm saying the summaries and the press releases but they bear very little resemblance or no resemblance to the actual reports. It's well documented.
Lois, you need to look around. You really need to look around the world and what's going on. What's gone on in the last 2 years? I mean, every time there's an event, even in this country, for example, 2 years ago, 40 degrees. This June, the hottest June ever. This September, the hottest September ever.
Yeah, we missed a couple in the middle. Since when? How many years?
Since ever. You asked this question.
How many years?
Since modern times. Since modern times.
Listen, when I asked for a number...
OK, so around about 120 years.
So you're basing the whole climate science that you are talking about on 120 years of a planet that's been around billions.
Meteorology started to look at these things in a concerted way. That's when it started to happen. So if we're seeing so many peaks now... If we're seeing so many peaks now, and not just in this country, record after record after record falling in every country that you can think of. And just watch, I'd say this to you now, this is a little prediction. Watch 2024 with an El Nino running alongside climate change. You watch how that one's going to go.
I'm going to stop you both there, because I think I lost interest with El Ninos. Jim Dale, thank you very much, Senior Meteorologist at the British Weather Services, and Lois Perry, Director of Car 26. Thank you so much. Keep your thoughts coming. GBViews at gbnews.com.